You love your cat, but some of your daily habits are quietly damaging their health and emotional well-being. Most owners make these mistakes every single day, completely unaware of the harm they're causing. 17 things you need to stop doing with your cat right now. First, constantly kissing your cat on the nose. That kiss on the nose feels like an act of love, but to your cat, it's an overwhelming sensory invasion. A cat's nose is essentially a supercomputer housing around 2 million olfactory receptors. Your breath hits it like a storm of competing smells, completely overloading their sensory system. The coffee you drank, your toothpaste, the remnants of your lunch, all of it crashes into that extraordinarily sensitive organ. Your cat turns away, not out of stubbornness, but because you're causing them genuine sensory discomfort. In the animal world, a face coming in extremely close is instinctively perceived as a threat. A predator brings its muzzle close just before striking, and your cat carries that knowledge in their DNA. The stress accumulated from repeated close face contact builds up and gradually alters their behavior. Over time, the cat becomes more anxious, avoids close contact, and retreats whenever you approach. Bacteria from your lips can also transfer to the nasal mucosa and potentially trigger infections. While human herpes isn't dangerous to cats, other microorganisms certainly can be. Show your love differently. A slow blink communicates affection in cat language, and a gentle scratch under the chin or behind the ears is both pleasant and completely safe for everyone involved. Second, waking your cat up for play or affection. Cats sleep between 16 and 20 hours a day, and every single hour of that rest matters deeply to their health. You spot that adorable fluffy ball and can't resist reaching out, but interrupting sleep disrupts the body's essential recovery cycles and affects the cat's brain. During deep sleep, cell regeneration takes place, and the immune system is strengthened. The REM phase is necessary for processing information and maintaining mental health. Chronic sleep deprivation makes cats irritable, more prone to aggression, and vulnerable to illness. Studies have shown that sleep-deprived cats live significantly shorter lives. Your desire to play or cuddle can always wait until your pet wakes up naturally. When the cat is ready for attention, they will come to you on their own terms. If your cat is sleeping somewhere inconvenient for you, don't move them. Simply go around, create quiet, undisturbed corners in your home where your pet can rest without interruption. Respecting your cat's sleep is respecting their health and their longevity. True love is also knowing when to give peace. Third, screaming at your cat for misbehavior. Shouting at a cat is entirely ineffective as a method of correction. Cats don't connect your anger to their behavior. If more than a second has passed, they have no idea why you're upset. You scream about a puddle on the carpet, and your cat simply concludes that you've lost your mind. They don't remember what they did 10 minutes ago and cannot understand the reason for your aggression. Screaming is a form of stress that irreversibly erodes the trust between you. The cat begins to fear you, not the behavior you dislike, and fear consistently leads to more problems: territorial marking, aggression, and stress-related illness. Every outburst is stored in their memory as a form of trauma, accumulating over years. A cat that is frequently scolded either becomes withdrawn and anxious or turns defensively aggressive. Instead of raising your voice, remove the opportunity for unwanted behavior from the environment. Prevention is far more effective. Positive reinforcement of good behavior always outperforms punishment for bad. Cats learn beautifully through rewards and through having unwanted actions. Simply ignored, patience and a genuine understanding of feline psychology will always deliver better results than shouting ever could. Fourth, carrying your cat in your arms against their will. Your cat struggles to get free, and you hold on tighter, convinced they'll eventually get used to it. They won't. All you're doing is intensifying their stress and building a deep-seated fear of your hands. For a cat, being forcibly restrained is the equivalent of being captured by a predator in the wild. Every instinct in their body screams to break free or face death. This isn't drama, this is survival wiring. The cat learns to associate your hands with the loss of control and a sense of danger. The next time you try to pick them up, even affectionately, they'll flee before you get close. Every instance of forced restraint chips away at trust between you and your pet. Some cats genuinely enjoy being held, but it must always be their choice. Offer your hands and wait. The cat will come to you when they want to. Respecting your cat's personal boundaries actually deepens the bond rather than weakening it. Kittens that are held against their will frequently grow into cats that avoid all physical contact. Trauma absorbed in early life stays with them permanently and cannot simply be unlearned. Give your cat control over physical contact, and you'll find yourself with a genuinely affectionate companion. Fifth, leaving the TV on for company. You assume the television keeps your cat entertained while you're away. In reality, the flickering screen and unpredictable sounds create a state of chronic low-level stress. Cats perceive screen images very differently from us to them. It appears as a strange, disorienting flicker of light. The refresh rate of a screen is registered as rapid blinking rather than a smooth, coherent image. TV sounds are inherently unpredictable, and loud sound effects can startle a sleeping cat without warning. Unable to locate the source of the sound, the cat cannot determine whether a threat is present or not. Constant background noise prevents their highly sensitive hearing from ever truly resting. Cat hearing picks up frequencies emitted by electronics that are completely inaudible to humans. The high-frequency hum of a television irritates them for hours while you're gone. Silence is far better for a cat left alone at home. Alternatively, specially composed cat music does exist and has been shown to work. Specific frequencies and rhythms have been scientifically proven to calm a cat's nervous system. Switch off the television and allow your cat to rest in natural, undisturbed, quiet. Sixth, using a spray bottle as punishment. Spraying water at a cat for unwanted behavior seems harmless and even effective on the surface. In reality, it destroys the relationship between you and teaches the cat absolutely nothing constructive. The cat doesn't connect the water to their behavior, only to your presence in the vicinity. They'll learn not to do it in front of you, but will continue the moment you leave the room. The only lasting outcome is that the cat begins to fear you and to associate your hands with threat. Water is a source of stress and humiliation for an animal that has a strong aversion to being wet. Some cats develop a genuine phobia of water as a result and stop drinking adequate amounts of fluid. Dehydration leads directly to kidney problems, the leading disease among domestic cats. The connection between a spray bottle and eventual kidney failure isn't obvious, but it is very real. A far better alternative is to physically remove access to whatever is causing the unwanted behavior. Double-sided tape, aluminum foil, and closed doors are all far more effective than water. Positive reinforcement of alternative, desirable behavior solves problems in a lasting way. Put the spray bottle away permanently and invest in humane methods of behavioral guidance instead. Seventh, feeding your cat immediately after they wake up. Your cat wakes up and instantly receives food, and in doing so, you're creating a dangerous behavioral pattern. The pet quickly learns that waking up equals food and begins waking you up progressively earlier. 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 2, the cat experiments systematically with the wake-up time. You get up and feed them just to be able to go back to sleep, and the cat registers that the strategy works. A month later, you're being roused in the middle of the night without realizing you designed the problem yourself. Cats are remarkably skilled at learning to manipulate their owner's schedules through food. The solution is simple. Wait 30 to 60 minutes after waking up before offering food. Breaking the link between your rising and the appearance of food removes the motivation to wake you. An automatic feeder set to a timer eliminates morning wake-up calls entirely. The cat waits for the sound of the feeder, not for you to get up, and the association is broken. Recalibration takes 2 to 3 weeks of consistent patience, but the result is permanent. Your sleep improves, and the cat is no less well fed. One small adjustment in routine resolves a major ongoing problem for good. Eighth, allowing your cat to bite your hands during play. A kitten gnawing on your fingers is undeniably cute, but an adult cat tearing into your hand is a different matter entirely. You taught them yourself that hands are a toy and fair game is prey. Every game involving hands reinforces the association. Human flesh is a target for hunting behavior. The cat makes no distinction between play and aggression when it comes to moving fingers. A guest extends their hand in greeting and receives an attack. You explain the cat was playing, but the tooth marks tell a different story. Cat bites are genuinely dangerous, as bacteria from their teeth can cause serious infections. Hospitalization following a cat bite is a real occurrence, not an exaggerated warning. Retraining an adult cat is considerably harder than instilling correct habits from the beginning. Use toys on a wand, balls, toy mice, anything other than your hands. If the cat does bite, freeze completely and ignore the behavior rather than pulling away. Pulling away mimics the movement of prey and actively provokes further attack. Complete stillness and disengagement signals clearly that the game ends the moment biting occurs. Ninth, placing the food bowl near the litter box. A cat will not eat near their toilet. This is instinct, not fussiness. In nature, predators do not eat where they defecate, for straightforward hygiene reasons. The smell of the litter box suppresses appetite even when the tray appears clean to you. A cat's nose is thousands of times more sensitive and detects what you cannot perceive at all. Food placed too close to the toilet reduces both appetite and water consumption. Chronic dehydration leads directly to urolithiasis and kidney disease. The cat may also resist using the litter box if food is placed too nearby. Urinary retention causes cystitis and urinary tract infections. Food bowls and the litter box must be kept in separate areas of the home. Ideally, maintain a minimum distance of 3 to 5 meters, even within a single room. Water should always be placed separately from food as well. Cats instinctively prefer this arrangement. In nature, water found near a carcass may be contaminated, so the instinct to separate feeding and toilet areas is deeply rooted. Honor it for the sake of your pet's health. 10th, touching the belly when your cat shows it. Your cat rolls onto their back with their belly exposed and you reach down to scratch it. A second later, claws are embedded in your hand and you have no idea what just happened. An exposed belly is a gesture of trust, not an open invitation to touch. The cat is communicating that they feel safe in your presence, and this is a profoundly vulnerable posture. Touching it is instinctively perceived as an attack on a weak and exposed area. The defensive reflex fires instantly, hence the claws and teeth. In that moment, you have inadvertently punished your cat for showing trust and vulnerability. The next time, they won't show you their belly. Trust is eroded. Some cats do tolerate belly contact, but this is the exception rather than the rule. Most will allow it for a second or two before the defensive instinct takes over. Never touch the belly without a clear invitation and a lengthy process of gradual habituation. Stick to the head and cheeks. These are genuinely enjoyed safe zones for almost every cat. Respecting these boundaries builds trust far more effectively than any uninvited touch ever could. 11th, ignoring changes in your cat's behavior. Your cat has been eating less, but you assume they're simply being picky. They're hiding more than usual, but you're too busy to take notice. They've stopped jumping to their favorite spot, but you haven't found time to consider why. Every behavioral change can be a symptom of serious underlying illness. Cats instinctively conceal pain and weakness until the very last possible moment. In the wild, a sick animal becomes prey, so showing vulnerability is simply not an option. By the time a cat is openly displaying signs of feeling unwell, the disease is often already advanced. Early symptoms are invisible to anyone who doesn't know what signals to look for. Changes in appetite, activity levels, daily habits, and vocalization, every detail matters. Keep a record of any changes and bring them to your veterinarian's attention at the next checkup. Routine examinations twice a year allow problems to be detected before they become serious. Your cat cannot tell you that something hurts. You must learn to read the signals they send. An attentive, observant owner can genuinely add years to their pet's life. 12th, using essential oils in your home. Aromatherapy diffusers and essential oils are slowly poisoning your cat. Cats lack the enzymes necessary to metabolize many of the compounds found in these oils. The substances accumulate in the liver over time and cause toxic damage that is difficult to reverse. Tea tree oil, eucalyptus, citrus, and mint are among the most dangerous for cats. Even the vapors in the air settle onto their fur and are ingested during routine grooming. Symptoms of poisoning include excessive drooling, vomiting, tremors, loss of coordination, and profound weakness. By the time these symptoms appear, significant liver damage has typically already occurred. Many cases of liver failure in cats have been linked to exposure to aromatic oils. The connection between the diffuser you run daily and your cat's deteriorating health 6 months later is not obvious, but it is real. Veterinarians are raising the alarm about this hidden danger with increasing frequency. Remove all essential oils from any home that contains a cat completely and without exception. There are no safe options. All oils carry potential toxicity. Fresh air through open windows is a far healthier choice for everyone in the household. 13th, leaving windows open without protective screens. Hyres syndrome in cats is a real and recognized medical diagnosis. Cats fall from windows regularly, particularly in spring when windows first open again. They misjudge distances or become distracted by a passing bird and lose their balance. The widely held belief that cats always land on their feet is only partially true. From the height of a second or third floor, a cat doesn't have sufficient time to reorient their body. From greater heights, even a perfect landing cannot absorb an impact of that magnitude. Fractures, internal organ damage, and death are daily occurrences in veterinary emergency clinics. A cat can sit safely on a windowsill for years and fall on the one occasion their attention wavers. Standard mosquito screens cannot bear a cat's weight. A purpose-built anti-fall mesh screen is required. Metal mesh secured firmly to the frame withstands jumping and sustained pressure. The cost of proper screening is negligible compared to emergency surgery or the loss of a beloved pet. A fully enclosed glazed balcony with no gaps is another effective solution for safe access to fresh air. Do not rely on your cat's caution to keep them safe. Take active steps to protect them from themselves. 14th, buying a covered litter box to contain the smell. A covered litter box seems like a practical solution. The odor stays inside and out of your living space. For your cat, however, it functions as a sealed chamber of concentrated ammonia. You lift the lid once a day. Your cat breathes that air every single time they use it. Ammonia from urine irritates the respiratory tract and the mucous membranes of the eyes. Cats begin avoiding the litter box entirely and searching for alternative locations. Your carpet and sofa become the toilet because at least there they can breathe. You then scold the cat for a situation you created by making their proper toilet unbearable. A covered litter box also restricts posture and freedom of movement during use. Cats prefer to be able to see their surroundings and have a clear escape route available. In nature, the vulnerable moment of defecation demands an open view for safety. This instinct doesn't disappear indoors. A covered litter box causes significant stress in many cats that goes completely unnoticed by their owners. An open litter box with high-quality litter manages odor effectively enough when maintained properly. Clean the tray more frequently rather than hiding the problem behind a lid. 15th, punishing territorial marking without investigating the cause. Your cat has started marking territory, and you assume they're being deliberately naughty. Marking is always a signal that something is wrong, never simply bad behavior. Stress, illness, territorial anxiety, or the perceived presence of a competitor are all possible triggers. Punishment increases stress, and increased stress intensifies the marking. A vicious cycle begins. The more you punish, the more stress builds, and the more the marking escalates. Medical causes are overlooked while you battle the behavioral symptoms. Cystitis, urolithiasis, and diabetes can all manifest as inappropriate marking outside the litter box. Your cat is trying to communicate that something hurts, and you respond by scolding them. At the first signs of marking outside the litter box, a veterinary visit is essential. Rule out any physical cause before turning your attention to behavioral factors. A new pet, home renovation, a house move, or a change in daily routine are all significant stressors for a cat. Pheromone diffusers and increasing available resources help to address territorial anxiety effectively. Understanding the root cause genuinely solves the problem. Punishment only makes it worse. 16th, cutting your cat's whiskers for neatness or aesthetics. A cat's whiskers are not decoration. They are a vital sensory organ with no equivalent substitute. The vibrissae contain dense clusters of nerve endings and play a central role in spatial orientation. A cat uses their whiskers to gauge the width of openings and judge distances with precision. Without them, the cat loses coordination entirely and becomes visibly clumsy. They collide with furniture, stumble, and cannot accurately calculate jumps. Spatial disorientation triggers severe stress and persistent fear. A cat deprived of their whiskers no longer feels safe navigating their own home. Whiskers detect subtle shifts in air movement and sense the approach of nearby objects. In darkness, whiskers effectively substitute for vision and make hunting possible. Trimmed whiskers do eventually grow back, but the months of suffering in the interim are entirely unnecessary. Some grooming salons trim whiskers for cosmetic reasons, refuse to allow it without exception. Children may cut whiskers without understanding the consequences. Explain clearly why this must never happen. A cat's whiskers are a sense organ, not hair, and must never be touched with scissors. 17th, giving milk as a regular treat. The image of a contented cat lapping from a saucer of milk is a charming myth, and one that genuinely harms their health. The majority of adult cats are lactose intolerant and lack the enzyme required to digest it. Milk causes diarrhea, bloating, and abdominal discomfort in those who cannot process lactose. You believe you're offering a treat? In reality, you're causing quiet suffering. Kittens drink their mother's milk, but after weaning, the capacity to digest lactose naturally diminishes. This is a normal biological process shared by all mammals, including the majority of humans. Your cat drinks milk because it tastes rich and fatty, not because it benefits their body. Enjoyment of a flavor does not indicate that a food is suitable for digestion. Chronic diarrhea causes dehydration and impairs the proper absorption of essential nutrients. The cat may appear outwardly healthy while quietly failing to absorb what their body needs. Specially formulated lactose-free cat milk does exist and can serve as an occasional indulgence, but fresh water and high-quality food are all a cat genuinely needs on a daily basis. Give up the milk and give your cat the gift of healthy, comfortable digestion.